Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 28th. It is how do I put it? Yes, the second day of my liberation, and I am moving forward. I am no longer worrying about my old job or any of that stuff. I have no reasons to worry about it. I'm done with it. I'm done with a lot of the sorry. All right, I have to look at that later. I shouldn't have put my phone. I shouldn't have put my watch on this morning. It might be a distraction. I still have to finish up in here. I didn't finish up last night because I just got to a point where I was feeling a little, not really overwhelmed. More like, what part of this room do I do next? I agree with Jerry Ann that I would only deal with my stuff, and all the other things would be something we would work on together, because it's a lot of rearranging, it's a lot of measurements, it's a lot of what to do with it. Actually, I have to sit down and talk to Jerry Ann because we had talked last night about possibly renting a storage unit to put all the extras in until we can finish up the house and maybe bring some of that back into the house and decide what to do with it. We were thinking about getting the storage shed to put all the holiday decor in there. That way, don't have to worry about climbing up in the attic. Don't have to worry about cluttering up the utility room, because the utility room has got the water heater in there, and I don't like all that stuff being in there with the water heater. There's a lot of little things that we're still hammering out, but for the most part, we know what we're doing. I don't know what her plans are for today, because today is kind of a gloomy, wet day. It's supposed to be raining on and off all day, and supposed to be getting thunderstorms. I'm sorry, but I will tell you this much: because of recent events, I am sleeping easier. I am sleeping better. I am not stressed when I wake up. This morning I was actually kind of, how do I put it? Well, the only word that comes to my mind is giddy. I'm doing my usual morning routine. I'm waking up at 10. I'm getting my cup of coffee, getting myself set up to come in here and work on videos. I am actually going to be trying to start on a couple of different videos, a series, basically a mini series of videos. I noticed this morning when I woke up and looked at my my YouTube. I guess a lot of people just didn't like my video from yesterday for whatever reason, and I really don't care. Like my videos, don't like my videos, make comments, don't make comments. I don't worry about that. I don't stress over who's making comments or who's not liking comments. Each person is allowed to have their own opinion, because that's a God-given right, just like it's a God-given right for me to have freedom of speech. So I'm not worried about thumbs up, thumbs down. It's the fact of that, well, let's just put it this way. Those of you who watch the video from start to finish, you're just helping me out, whether you're putting thumbs up or thumbs down anyhow. I will have to say one thing, though. I do agree with a lot of the people who have basically said that I shouldn't be giving out full names. Well, I don't see what's wrong with that. Because if I'm not speaking ill of the person and I'm giving out their full name, there's nobody should be getting irritated or butthurt or however you want to put it. Heck, I can give you my full name and I won't care. Names, as my, as a couple of famous actors said in several different movies, including John Wayne, my father even said it too when it came to, when somebody asked about his name, especially our last name. I'll say it proud and boastful. Names are for tombstones. Names, I mean, anybody can have any name. Anybody could, in fact, I could have another person. There could be, well, when my father was alive, the military doesn't use middle initials or middle names. So when they wrote down my name on paperwork, at the end of my name, it said Junior. I'm not a junior. My last name, or my middle name and my dad's middle name are not the same. Two totally different names. But there's probably another person out there who has the same basic name as me, James D. Henson. A name is a name. Shit. I can go to a courthouse and file for a name change and choose my own name and make a name that is unique to me. I'm not going to. But what matters the most, especially here in this country, I don't know about other countries, I'm pretty sure other countries have some form of numerical code that goes with their actual name and birth date and whole 9 yards to identify the person as who they are. Same here in the States. My social security card number and my dad's social security card number were two different numbers. So a lot of times, especially with the government, sometimes you're not only identified by, okay, this is your name. What's your social security card number? Even if they don't ask you for the full blown number, they ask you for the last four digits, because nobody's last four digits is the same. The first 5 set of numbers might be the same because it's from the region they're born in or they're closest to. Like, I was born in the Philippine Islands, so the first 5 numbers in my social security number matches California numbers. A lot of people who were born in California have the same first set of digits. It's that last 4 set of digits that make the identifier. So, and I'm smart enough not to give out my social security card number unless it's on some sort of official documentation. Now, I don't know everybody's last name from work. I just know the important people, the important 2 people. Now, I'm not going to talk about them no more, but I will just say this much. Okay, yes, I probably should not have used their full name. But like I said, I only know their first name and last name. If they have a middle initial, I don't know it. A name is a name. If somebody's going to get butthurt because of the fact that I'm using their name on my channel, well, I apologize, because it don't make no sense to me. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the same thing my dad used to say. I'm going to say the same thing. Drill Sergeant David Manfin. I can't pronounce his last name. But they both said, my father used to say it all the time, and I heard this drill sergeant who's kind of famous. He had his own TV show. He had a couple of different shows he was on, but I think he recently passed away. I don't know, I'm not sure, but he was a Marine drill sergeant. And they said it so eloquently, but so like in your face, which is typical of the military. In their day, and in fact, even in my day back in the 70s and 80s, if you got offended by being called a pussy, you were basically exactly that, a pussy. If you were offended simply because of words, or because somebody used your name, or somebody did something that offended you, you were considered a pussy in the military. Well, yeah, that was back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s when things were hardcore, but nowadays people are getting too soft. Nowadays people would prefer to roll over and have master rub their belly and then stand up and be a guard dog. But that being said, if you got offended from what I just said, I'm sorry. That's not my problem. That's your problem. Am I afraid of ramifications because people get offended easily? No. No. And if I have to stand on my own 2 feet and defend myself, so be it. I got no problem with that. As this shirt elegantly says, let's see if I can pan down. Viking blood. Oh, I gotta pull this out. Runs through my veins. Well, I don't have just Viking blood in my veins, but most of the blood that runs through my veins is made up of different nationalities that were known to be fighters, warriors. Some of them bloodthirsty, like Vikings, Celts, Picts. You go, put it this way, you go to any other country, and most countries are not as aggressive, or how do I describe the very country that is my home? Well, I said it before. We are Americans for the most part. And I don't mean just North Americans. I'm finding out a lot of South Americans are almost the same way. Soft. Take offense too easily. I saw this happening a lot in New York. New Yorkers are the epitome of Americans. What I mean by this, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody who's from New York, and I don't mean upstate New York. I mean the hardcore part of New York, which is like Long Island, the 5 boroughs. They can act aggressive. They can act mean. They can act, arrogant. They have basically all the negative aspects of big city life. And within that big city, you have all these people who are basically, they may seem to be tough people, but for the most part, when you bare your teeth at them and stomp your feet and basically show that you're not going to back down, that you're going to stand your ground, they start acting butthurt and wanting to basically sue every individual who does not fall or bow to their whims just because. Literally, I mean, New Yorkers will sue just because. Oh, you planted a tree and its branches are on my side of the property line. If you don't cut them back, I'm going to sue you. Or the tree is basically over on my side of the property line, so that gives me the right to basically trim it back, and I trim it back, and the person who planted the tree and owns the property next to me sues me for basically cutting the tree that's on my side of the property. Stupid? Yes. Do they do it? Yes. I've heard about cases. I've heard a lot of stupid stuff from my brother-in-law because actually he's ex-NYPD. And some of the things he used to tell me about how corrupt the PD system is and all the different things he saw as a police officer and stuff like that made me go, how in God's green earth are you guys still a city and not a crumbling pile of dust because you burnt each other down? That's big city life. I come back here to Missouri and it's not much different. It's just about as bad, not as corrupt, not as a lot of people here in Rolla. A lot of people I know here in Rolla are pretty good people, and they're willing to work with each other to not have to worry about, law, going into court and paying money for something stupid. But the thing is, one thing that I found out here in America, and this goes all the way back to the 80s when we first came back from Germany. The 3 years I was in Germany as a young kid, I was really happy. I had fun. I learning the language off the streets, getting along with the people of Germany, learning about their foods, their customs, their way of life, things like that. And it was from 80 to 83, so that was from the age of 9 to the age of almost 12, 11 and a half to 12. I loved it. The landscape was beautiful, the food was decadent, but like most Europeans, even though their food is decadent, they have very active lifestyles. And I don't mean just the people in the city who are running around and doing their usual hustle and bustle that from cities here in America. They're about the same when it comes to their hustle and bustle. But Europeans, for the most part, took time, took their free time and went on what they call holidays, which basically it could be anything from a 2-day weekend to a week away from the hustle and bustle and whatnot. And they would go picnicking or hiking, backpacking during the wintertime, skiing, snowshoeing, whatever, when they learned to adapt to their environment, to the weather, to the seasons, all that fun stuff. Something I'm learning from reading the book that I have called How to Live Hagee. In fact, I'm going to love breaking that out because I've already made cliff notes and underlined paragraphs and all kinds of things in the book itself. I like to be able to sit down and actually write out stuff and how I feel that I can make changes in my life and in my home to live that way. But I'm not stressing anymore. I'm not going to let YouTube, I'm not going to let life, I'm not going to let anything stress me anymore. Yeah, I might read something that I have to sit down and dissect to make sure that I'm not going to get upset over something that I don't fully understand. I've noticed that the one or two posts that I didn't really agree with, so they're not there no more. And after I took them down, I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have taken them down because I understand what she's saying now. So I apologized to Dee for taking down your post because I understand what you said and whatnot, but at the same time, early in the morning, maybe I shouldn't be reading posts early in the morning. But it was before I had coffee and before my brain started firing on all 5 cylinders. Yeah, I said 5 cylinders because sometimes that 6th cylinder doesn't want to kick in. But I'm going to follow what Nelly and Sheila suggested, and that's basically to move forward. Don't worry about Dickies. Don't worry about the past. Just move forward. Which is great because the fact that everything I see in front of me right now is, yeah, it's going to be a tough road because there's a lot of, sorry, I've got a dry patch on my eyeball. Or eyelid, how you want to put it. It's going to be a little rough because the fact that it's a lot of little projects that need to be done, but it's interesting how little projects can snowball into bigger projects. Basically, other than the cleaning and sorting things out, the tough part of what I see in the future is the rearranging of furniture, because I don't have lightweight furniture. I don't. Dang it. I'm shedding. Most of my furniture is not the cheap pressboard stuff. And granted, it's either furniture that's been passed down through the generations or furniture that we were gifted. This room is pretty much rearranged except for the H hutch. We're going to move it to a different room. But we have basically most of our furniture that we have in this house, except for maybe 1 or 2 nightstands, are either made out of solid, like oak, mahogany, cherry wood, the heavy, good, strong stuff. Like I said, the furniture in this room, except for 2 newer pieces, 2 newer display pieces for displaying crystal and china. This table and the buffet, which was my Aunt Helen's, and she had it back in the 80s. I don't know when I don't know when they got this furniture. I can tell you this much just by the scroll working and the wood and all that stuff, the design. It's something that hasn't been seen since, somebody said 40s, maybe 30s. And I'm like, dang. I don't know when my Aunt Helen got it. My mom said that I'm sorry, I am literally shedding. The table and hutch, there was 2 sets that were bought by, now I can't remember if she said her grandmother or great-grandmother. One set went to my great-grandmother, the other one went to another family member, but there's 2 different sets that have been in the family for years. The mahogany H cabinet or bookcase, however you want to call it, which we're currently using for storage of china and glassware, glassware of one form or another. My father had it commissioned back in the 70s, so that thing is probably about as old as Jerry Ann, so it's about 50 years old, but it's survived the monsoons and whatnot of the Philippine Islands. It survived the dry heat of Arizona. It survived the storage of the military. Or did that get shipped with us to no, I think that got shipped to us via the military when we went to Germany, so it survived the cold air weather of Germany. No, it was not sitting outside. It was indoors, but the environments outside the house was either monsoon seasons of the Philippine Islands, the dry desert heat of Arizona, the humidity of Arkansas, the cold, the climates, not climates, but, well, the climates of Germany, where we were living. Germany, we lived in an area called Hundrik Mountains, or Dogback Mountains. So if it got above 80, it was like, it's warm outside, let's go play. But the temperatures did drop into the, did it drop into the sub category, or did it just drop into the single digits? I don't remember, but it got darn cold. Then from Germany, it returned to Arizona, and then from Arizona, returned here to Missouri. Then from Missouri, it was in New York for a short period of time, and then back. So that bookcase is seen as many places as I've seen. So, yeah. It's weathered like me. But thankfully, it's not falling apart like me. But, like I've been saying the last couple days, sorry, but every time a vehicle passes by my house, I'm curious. Like me, or not like me, squirrel, really distraction. Living with somebody with ADD and hyperactivity is not fun. I can tell you, I've been living with it for 50 years. Oh, wait a minute, I'm talking about myself. The future looks pretty bright. I mean, like I said in my previous video, I'm going to take some time away from working outside the house so I can get these projects done. I don't want to jinx anything, but if things go good, if things go the way Diane and I hope it does, I may not have to return to work. Not because I'm not planning on trying to hold unemployment for a long period of time. In fact, part of me is hoping it doesn't go through. Part of me hopes it does. Here's the reason why. The reason why I hope it goes through is because it'll be a little bit of extra money just to help out, to extend my time away from work. The reason why I hope it doesn't is I don't like looking for handouts. To me, unemployment is a handout. I know for a lot of people it is, especially right now with COVID and whatnot, a lot of people still can't get their jobs. That in fact, if my information that I've been reading lately is correct, even if everybody were to get the vaccination, CDC is still saying wear a mask when you're in gatherings. Like, you can basically go out for a walk without a mask, as long as you're not in a crowded area. If you have crowds and you can't keep a good social distance away, they want you to wear the mask. A lot of big cities, in fact, I think New York is barely starting to open stuff up, even though places like Missouri has been opened up since February. But there's also concerns of the continued spread of the new versions of coronavirus, which our current vaccine does not really do good. That in fact, I've been hearing a lot of bad reports about a particular company that was using something about their vaccination was causing blood clotting. And I was like, this is one of the many reasons why I haven't gone and to get the vaccine yet. Even though they're saying that the vaccine that's still out has not shown any major side effects except for aches and pains and like getting the flu shot. You get the flu shot, there are chances that when you get the flu shot, you either end up getting sick with the flu or having some aches and pains and flu-like symptoms, but not the flu. And I'm like, I only got the flu shot this last time because the doctor suggested it. Now, I'm not saying that I'll never get COVID, even if I get the shot or don't get the shot. But knowing my body's immune system the way I know my body's immune system, there is less likelihood for me. I'm basically in the age bracket. They're saying that people in my age bracket are less likely to get the flu shot than people who are older than me. Does that mean I'm not going to watch my health or anything like that? No, no, far from it. I mean, out of all the things that I can come down with because of genetics, I'm more concerned about my high blood pressure, my cholesterol, the potential of diabetes or some form of heart problem over COVID or anything like that, just because of my genetics. Now, I'm not Superman. I'm far from being a Superman. I'm far from being anybody who's basically immune to everything. No, I have my problems. I have my allergies. I have my high blood pressure. I have my high cholesterol. I have bronchial issues that are basically because of my allergies. I've got all kinds of health problems, but nothing so severe that I'm running to the hospital every other week. But I will say this much, and anybody who's been watching my videos from day one can probably agree with this assumption. This is an assumption about myself. I have grown. Everybody who knows me has been like, you've grown in the last year or so. I mean, not physically grown, but psychologically and mentally grown. I'm not as unstable mentally as I used to be. As for my spirituality, well, let's just put it this way. I've gained a very big insight on various different religions or spiritual beliefs or whatnot, which I'm pretty sure I've talked about. Now, as for what the future holds, well, like I said, I don't know what the future holds. I mean, right now the future looks pretty bright. I'm yes, granted, I don't know what I'm gonna be like by the end of next week, let alone the end of this week. I might go stir crazy by the end of this week because I won't be getting out as much as I was. I will have to try to find, and I want to talk to Jerry about this. I want to try to find a time frame that either both of us can get out of the house and just go for a short drive, or maybe some, besides being in here doing my own thing, maybe some downtime where I have the opportunity to by myself escape and go to one of our parks close by the woods and maybe go for a short walk on one of the paths that go through the woods. I don't know. All I know is it looks great. I mean, I might look tired right now, but that's because I'm trying to wake up in this weather outside, this gloomy, not doing anything but being overcast and just ucky looking. If it wasn't for the factor the weather is warm outside, I would say that it looks like a winter morning before a snowstorm kind of thing. Gray, gloomy, you know, just everything looks bad, you know. Anyhow, I'm sliding in my chair. I love this chair, but it's leather, so it makes me do one of these numbers. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, so I can start my other video and not make one giant video. Anyhow, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. I'm not gonna promise anything because, like I said this morning, I had a young lady, or I don't know how old you are, but I'm just saying young lady. I'm just used to saying that. She put a comment on that I'm at first misunderstood and removed it, and then when I thought about it, I was like, oh, yeah, okay. She has a point. I don't know why I deleted it, so I'm sorry. I do that sometimes. I half wake, half sleep, read something that my brain just goes, no. That's because when I'm first waking up, my brain is kind of primitive. So I apologize, Dee Dee. I did read it. I did take it into, after letting my brain mull it over, I realized that one, it didn't need to be removed, and two, you had a point. You did have a point. So I apologize. I really do. I've had in the past other people who put comments on there that just, it's like, no, that's just downright rude. It has no merit or has no connection to the content of the video. But Dee Dee's did, so I apologize. I really do. But yeah, go ahead and put your comments on. I will read them, and hopefully my primitive brain don't take over. If you're new to my channel, you can hit the little subscribe button and a bell will pop up, and you click on that bell and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. So until next time, have a good day. Stay dry if you're in a Midwestern state that's getting rain. Bye.